It is possible, of course, that my father foresaw what would happen in future, because I know for a fact that he wanted a boy, and there I came. So he brought me up as a boy. I looked after cattle and goats and sheep like I was a boy, and I used to go and plow my father's wide corn fields, and I played with sticks like boys do. And he brought me up to be as tough as hell. And he didn't know that he was shaping me for the hard life that lay ahead. And I'm very grateful for that he brought me up as a boy.
When I married him, he was already a prisoner, in fact. We met during his treason trial, and he had to get permission, in fact, to get married, because he was not only a prisoner, he was banned. And the trial was on in Pretoria at the time. So he was given 4 days in which to go to the Transkei and get married, which is where we got married, on the 14th of June 1958.
The life I've led from that moment has always been in and out of prisons. I can no longer even remember how many times I've been arrested and how many times I've been actually jailed. They have been too many. Sacrosanct that I could never on my own lift up a finger against any human being for ideological reasons. But what I went through, that personal experience, hardened me so much that at the end of my interrogation, looking at my interrogators and what I had gone through, I knew that as I sat in that cell, if my own father or my brother walked in dangling a gun, and he was on the other side, and I had a gun too in my hand, in defense of the ideals for which I was being tortured, then I would fire.
Bayandomineza. They have made me stronger.
What have you done to my wife?
You should ask yourself that question, Mr. Mandela.
It does not matter.
Very first time when I was in solitary confinement, you are interrogated for 7 nights and 7 days without any sleep, and God provided a mechanism I had never thought of at the time. I reached a point, I think a threshold, where the body could not take the pain anymore, and then I would faint. Those were the most beautiful moments. The body rested, and when they threw a bucket of water to wake me up, it didn't matter that I was soaking wet. I got up, I was so refreshed, and I started fighting all over again.
No to the language of the oppressor.
Zinzi. Yes, ma. Be careful. And now, what do you want?
We are serving a banning order.
I already have one.
In terms of this new order, you'll be confined to the town of Brandfort. Also, you may not meet with more than one person at any one time.
Where is Brandfort?
Far away from Soweto.
What do you think you're doing? The government is blaming me for the massacre of the school children. So I have been banned again. This time to Brandfort, in the Free State. Hama, we have to stay here for how long?
Sorry, maar zal ik ooit weer kan zeggen, mijn schat het ik weer gekregen. En zonder gedal langs die mooie diepste wal, het zij voor oorlogsdagen blij. O, breng mij terug naar jouw Transvaal, daar waar mijn Sari woont. Daaronder in die milies bij die groendoornboom, daar woont mijn Sari Marijn. Daaronder in die milies bij die groendoornboom, daar woont mijn Sari Marijn. Ik was zo bang dat die kakjes mij zal vangen, ver oor die zee wegstuur. Toen vlug ik naar die kant van die Oppingtonse zand, daaronder bij de grote rivier. O, breng mij terug naar die oude Transvaal, daar waar mijn Sari woont. Daaronder in die milies bij die groendoornboom, daar woont mijn Sari Marijn. Daaronder in die milies bij die groendoornboom, daar woont mijn Sari Marijn. die oorlog is nou klaar en die huis toe gaan is daar terug na.
This is the kitchen, and here there were cupboards which were standing here now for packing the dishes and what have you. And here was the washing basin. This was the sink whereby she used to wash the dishes. And at this corner, there was a stove here, a coal stove, as you can see the chimney up here. I managed to help her. We took her to the doctor in Brandfort. Then from there, we were friends. Then Winnie wrote me a letter saying, now you are my best friend. I've never ever had anyone to help me. She would make fire and cook meal stamp. It takes time, Musa, right? And then she would say, please don't cook over there. I'm having the meal, the stamp over here. You must come and eat. Knowing very well that I am afraid of coming in, I won't come in. Instead, I might even just stand next to the fence there, sending my dish, saying that, could you kindly please do me a favor by doing this? It's enough. But we're just friends, and the best friend, in fact, with Winnie.
Yes. How did you get a permit to get into the township?
I know people. I wouldn't call them friends, but anyway, I'm here.
I'm glad you are.
I see you haven't changed.
It's been hard, Mary. Very hard. But it feels good helping people again. The community has never had a clinic.
No.
This building was a liquor store.
How do you do it?
Donations. Some from
They used to say, you are a godmother. Oh, we didn't want to hear a thing about Winnie. If I say Winnie, yo, you must know that you are touching us because she was of a great help. She did her work, Winnie, tremendously in Brandfort. Even today, if you are saying Winnie, people of Brandfort will say, Mama, Mama, because of her efforts in Brandfort.
My name is Puseletso Sylvia Modise. I live here in Brandfort. I'm the Youth Development Officer, Masilonyana Local Municipality. I'm also a member of the Project Steering Committee for the restoration of the Winnie Mandela Museum. She was banished here in Brandfort, Mama Winnie, and this place was more of a solitary confinement for her because during those times it was just a farm. It was more like a farm with no neighbors, no relatives, no phone calls or anything during that time. So she was banished to Brandfort then, and it was on the 16th of May when Mama Winnie came here. The first night of Mama Winnie here in Brandfort, she slept on the ground floor. There was no bed, there was no furniture then. So Mama Winnie slept on the ground that first night.
1977, if I'm not mistaken, yes. It was by then, during the apartheid, during those days, we were never even told about the coming of Winnie Mandela. They only dumped Winnie Mandela here, so I cannot answer for why he came, because it was above our shoulders. That they took me just as our mother, because their mother, because of the relationship that I had with their mother. We were so close because of the language. So now Winnie was speaking closer. So she knew nothing about Sesotho. The environmental language here is Sesotho and Sichuan. So I get so close to her because of the language. I was specializing in Xhosa. I'm a teacher by profession, so I was only here to come and specialize Xhosa language by then. But I'm no more teaching now.
The police were not around the house, but they would be staying uphill there at the Opikopi, looking down here using the binoculars. So they will be peeping through that window, and Mama Winnie and the kids will be also peeping through that window using the mirror reflection to check if the security forces are up there or not. So the moment there will be something like a lightning strike, then they would know that the guys are still up there. That's how they would know if they are being watched or not.
Winnie was a person who liked her people, I may put it like that. Because under the strict laws of because she was under house arrest, but she never stopped to even feel when she was in Brandfort. The way here, Brandfort, you see now, we know, because it's a small rural township, we know each other. You'll find that you are to greet each and everyone you meet on the street. So she just easily adjusted herself to that situation. That was why it was so easy for her to get used to us. As we were just passing through her house, in fact, she would even greet first, even before you greet her. Hello, Nkosikazi. And then she would even explain more, talk more up until you stand still. Seeing the children who are, if the children are not clean because the dust, it's a dust township, if the children are dusty, Winnie would say, no, Mom, I'm having so many clothes from my friends from Durban. Big boxes with coats, jerseys, and the dresses would supply to us through the churches. We would take all those things through the churches and through our organizations, because as I said earlier on that I was in charge of the Young Women Christian Association in Brandfort. It's a young women's organization. It's a Christian organization which deals with the most needy people, and as we are supposed to bring up this the small children, focusing at building a well-balanced nation. You see now, just let them coming together, playing, or even doing their traditional dances, the children. Then they would end up, Winnie was very much interested in that. And then this MK would teach the children to do what they call in Sesotho, dijobo. So MK taught the mothers to make this dijobo through a wool. Not, we are making those jobs with khosha. Those are bags, ne? So this MK taught us how to do it with a wool. They would bring us a wool in bulks from, from Botswana. From Botswana. In fact, MK, because I'm not driving, MK was driving for me to go and collect, to meet the Winnie's friends. In Joburg, collecting the sewing machines for the mothers in Brandfort, collecting the material. There's an organization from Durban who brought us a roll of black material. We used to sew the black skirts for the women's mañanas. You know, all the different denominations on Thursday. That is how we get used to Winnie.
The band building, Mama Winnie, her profession, she was a nurse. So when she came here to Brandfort, she built a clinic And then the clinic was bombed not once but twice by the then security force, who believed that there are some criminal activities taking place in there. Then they bombed it.
You said the rules of those days, especially in Brandfort, because this event after 9 o'clock in the evening, you are not supposed to move. If you look right up there, there is a tower up there. It is called, it's a person here that is up there. At 9 o'clock, that siren would go, so no one should be on the street by then, not even speak on the street. Now, you know the youths were so curious, most. They would block and just stand in front of the gate there until very late. Winnie would cook food for them. She had so many friends from Joburg and Depe. We used to bring food for her and in turn cook that food for the people of Brandfort with big pot. You know, those days we had no electricity, no running taps, no running water, and we were using one tap. For family houses were using only one tap. So it so happened that the very tap that I was using, Winnie was also using there. So that is why she would even just greet me even if I am indoors. No mafa, hello, hello, koskazi. Opening the taps. So we were so used like that, just like a friend. She had no bucket. You see, we were using the bucket to fetch water. So I would just borrow her the bucket. She was using a big pot to fetch water from the tap. So I just borrow her the bucket and some of the kitchen utensils, because they dumped her with nothing. That is how we get close to it. Because of my profession, we were not told about her. So now, no secular whatsoever ever informed us about anyone would be coming to Brandfort, so we are not supposed to get in touch with her. Then we would greet Winnie, we would do anything, we would chat and do everything because of that, not getting any information. We were also bored because of Winnie.
Mama Winnie was such a strong woman, because even those times of solitary confinement, she still continued with her social responsibilities. She still continued being the mother of the nation, because she also opened a clinic here. So she was selfless and unselfish, because she wasn't only looking after her kids here, but also the kids of the strangers, because remember, she was not born here, she was not raised here, she didn't know the place, but she opened the clinic, she opened the crèche here. For Mama Winnie to escape, she would get out of the house and come to a toilet here. We had the bucket system toilet. So Mama Winnie will pretend as if she was coming to the toilet, and she will walk behind the clinic before it was bombed. And then next door to the bombed clinic, there was a garage there. Then she will use an entry door through that garage, an entry door which no one knew about. Then she'll get in the car, and then the Tessa Camela will get inside the car and drove Mama Winnie out, while the security force up there the hill will think Mama Winnie still in the house.
We were so pleased. I was so happy for her, because by that time Winnie was already in Joburg. After they bombed the clinic, which was in the premises there, Winnie went straight to Soweto. So we were so pleased and happy for Winnie. And we were even invited to go and see Dade by the family. It was said that they would like to see us, because we kept that brotherhood with Winnie whilst she was in Brandfort. Then he said he never hear anything, friendship, once she was in Soweto, but in Brandfort, Winnie would say she had friends, a family, and that church. So we were invited to Orlando. We went there to go and see Tata. That time it was still this Mandela hostel and Inkatha and ANC. It was not safe, but she arranged the transport with this very MK to come and fetch us to Joburg to go and see Tata. By then we were so happy, but it took so long. And then, because that house, the hooligans were using it, it was not safe. And even the thieves would go to and steal the sheep from the rest of the year and slaughter the sheep in that house. So we were so happy when it was said, now it's going to be a museum. They are so happy because what they did when they were doing the research about it, were having there's letters from Kuno. They were also saying that they were so pleased that at least Winnie has been recognized by the people of Free State, that all what she did was of a great help to the people of, especially of Brandfort, because all the projects that Winnie introduced, they were not existing. So that by then. So the development in Brandfort, the development came so strong when Winnie Mandela was here. So even the very township Brandfort, people, because it was, it is said Brandfort was the most apartheid store, because people would even buy through the windows. They will never get to the shop through the doors. So it was known after Winnie was being dumped here. So in disguise, it was a blessing to the people of Brandfort. They even managed, because even the women would say, Winnie would say, Makoskas, what names and do, Makoskas, what are you busy doing?
The project Winnie Mandela Museum was taken over by the National Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. In 2019, in April, the minister came here to introduce to us the Kopano Construction, which was the constructor for the restoration of this building. And then in May, we started with the building and the restoration. The project ended on the 20th of November in 2019, and then it was handed over to the municipality. Mama Winnie Mandela came to Brandfort, and many of us were not even born then. So this project is going to help us a lot to get to know the history of one of the imbogodos of our country, which is Mama Winnie, to get to know more about the social responsibilities and to get to know more about who she was and then what is it that she was doing here. Many of us, we knew that there's a lady here by the name of Winnie Mandela, but we didn't know much or care to know much about her. But then since the restoration of this museum, we'll get to know more details about her, what she was doing here, which year she came here, and then why, the reason behind that, why she came to Brandfort specifically.
It's 2021 now. With this museum, how are you going to preserve Winnie's legacy, and how are you going to see the life that we
there will be furniture that will be installed inside the house number 802 where Mama Winnie lived. And then it is through those artifacts that will be designed, manufactured by the service provider appointed, that will get to know the life of Mama Winnie here in Brandfort. And it is through that that we'll get to know the real Mama Winnie, and not only know but see the life of Mama Winnie here in Brandfort, the impact that she made in our lives, even though we're not born then. But then now, at least we'll get to live now with what she did then.
About this car that Mama Winnie introduced as a escape, is it coming back to school? Is it coming in?
The family has agreed to donate the car to us. It is a black VW Beetle. So the family will donate the car to us. Also a Mama Winnie statue with the famous picture where she was wearing a t-shirt written "A Prisoner." There will be a statue here, and the car will be driven down to Brandfort. On the other side of the road, we have It was an old Majumasulo stadium which was donated by the municipality to the Department of Sports, Arts and National Culture, and then it will be used as a five-a-side soccer. It's a Kumbi court which will be used as a five-a-side soccer. Another one is a 3-in-1 court for basketball, African basketball, the netball. There's a guardhouse, outdoor gymnasium, and the kids playing ground. We anticipated that by 2022 June, all the furniture will be installed inside, everything will be finished, then it can be open to the community. It will boost our economy, because people will be coming here wanting to know exactly what happened, and not only they will get to know, but they will get to see the life of Umama Winnie during that time, and then we'll be attracting people from all around the country that will be coming down here in Brandfort. And remember also, this town will also named after Umama Winnie, so you will not only come into Brandfort, but you will also be coming to Winnie Mandela, the place, Winnie Mandela, the museum. So it's a huge significance for us, because as the people of Brandfort, the world will know that Mama Winnie lived here. They will know. Okay, in Brandfort we have the grave sites for the Anglo-Boer War, World War II. We have them here in Brandfort. Also here in Brandfort, it is where the first aeroplane was made, here in Brandfort. So we have quite a lot of tourist attraction sites. So when you come to Brandfort, we'll have a map with those different places where you can start and then where you can end. So you'll not only be coming to Winnie Mandela, but you'll also get to see other tourist attraction sites here in Brandfort.
My ignorance, I would say, the change, the attitude that we had, that we people, I mean, put it like that, at a certain time it locked us, because after it was said now we are free, so all what the previous government
yeah.
We all took it right down under the table. We could have not do that. At least we said, no, this one, we are to keep it, this one, we are to put it in the dustbin. This one, put it, this one, put it in the dustbin. Yes. Why I'm saying so? Personally, I'm worried about this free thing of every mahala, to the mahala, and to the mahala. Are clinic? Mahala, I'm sorry for Rijal. I agree previously. Previously, we reported 25 cents area clinic. 25 cents. I was teaching at Tembisa. Our government, they are trying their level best, but the people on the grassroots level, we are really not supporting accordingly with them. We are also abusing our own government. But now, the way we behave, it's not, we are destroying our culture by taking somebody's culture and abusing it, because we are just I'm sorry, but you'll find that Usemedisa, I can suit. Traditional basut, Banem Babasut. This guy is close, Banem Babasut, because I get a runa but Bamalo, Rabulaya Bana, Rabaloya Banaban. So Usemedisa tradition about Baba thing, Dibulas Chavasaruna. Abadabaruna Habasebesi Impa, Labona Hurujo. Kabani liruna reduce kachete kinalibon khunu kinali ko kalse mo ko sabar kise mwana kaska thola pachete ke bata bona government impachete bitirinyana Sikiti ke qala go se fumana ha isale e le nna mme a ke re ra qoqa ditaba tsa rona jaaka bonkgono ipa later re ke di thute gore re share le gore le the correct way of approaching batho re se ke ra balaela ra kgetho re ya dikgethong gonano o tla bona ba re ya dikgethong o tla ba isa go filifili mfulento tsa ba isa plus go ne le follow up le dikgetho o bone gore o uplifter development o yetsa jwang sebakeng sa hao and mo go le batho for instance o mpusa putso e ngata entle clinic ya rona ya tša e tšhile mo go be go tšhisitswe ke ngwana o tshwere ebile ga ke ngwana wa gankgono a duleleng kgono ba utswa di-tv le di-laptop clinic tsa rona di-standardized mos everything ya e yetswa ke government is standardized ba e tika. But now, batho ba dutse mo o ka bona bona bana ba ba etsa mo sheba di television matsiwe ba tlo thatla ba television ayana be re development ye in elia rona jare e tshitswe ke rona ha ke re ke rona ke bulela ke bana ba rona ke re also part of it. Okay, a re ke di tikeng di ke di iketsetse re ke re thusa this government ya rona the whole community bana ba ananetse taba ye ba thabile hampe mama o bua ne tikare a re iketsetse a re tsibo he mataka runa mo tšhelete re bonkgono runa bonkgono ka ba go hole mo ba re teng runa bonkgono re tana ntse 100 rand ke bone gore re ra ikagela jole wa utsa ke ra tloga phela le tsamo the director runa very good one o sale monyane hle ngwana o ligana le luna yana aba re mama ke ntwe ma re ge ke o bulela ba mefwaka ke re mama o na itse ke ngole ngole a re ke hlaketse ke taba tse di batlang a re lokisetsa a tla hantle a batla le batho ba re ba tlo sheba gore go tshile ha ka kang e kwetsa re qetile rona ka gore di chate tso batho ba ba kae re etse e tsara research gore batho ba kae ba sebetsa mo clinic ga re sebetsa clinic ke bonko ba nyenyane the mothers the teenage mothers ba bonko ra kena mo tem sebetseng mo wa lona ono le rona ga go ntshwa di 100 rand re bere a gona motho tla kholela tšhelete re tla yo go patala mane ntho tse di batlwa ke baagi bo ntate bale ba mama nna ke kagetse ke na le dipapiri re tla ikagela go re ka thusana re batla go thusa government e phahame wa government ya rona e na le bokgoni fela re ra inyenyefatsa ka tsela e re tshwere ka yona le rona sheba di-district tsa rona di jang so a ke re kope gore ntate modimo corona e tla re bolaya hobane ha rena nnete and ra nyenyefatsana ra tellana this pulling down we are pulling down our government ka borona a ke re thusaneng hle le re bo wa di ba rona gore a tshebana a ke le lokiseng bana mo rona a re lahle dijo mo tanke bana ba a ke di jeng bana ba gola and ba gola bana ba rona ba gola wa tswa rona re gola ka 69 rand ba entertainera ka di tavern ni bona di tavern le mane ke tavern le mone ke tavern sebang gore go jang
I'm Zanywe Matikizela. That's who I am. I never dreamt I would meet a Mandela. I never dreamt that I would end up in and out of prisons. I think fate determines your journey. I wouldn't ever claim that one day I said and thought, oh, I'm going to be a freedom fighter. No, I was born out of the conditions of the country that determined who I ultimately became. Everything I said was Mandela's wife. I became a nobody. Here I am now, losing myself and being absorbed into this name. Yeah, I am married, but I am still Winnie. And the reason why I fought as hard as I did in Brandfort, I wanted it known that it was Winnie Mandela and not Mandela's wife, and that it was a woman. And I would take on the enemy as much as they oppressed me. I decided I will fight them to the last drop of my blood, and I will show them that women are going to bring about change in South Africa. And we did. is my only obsession in life. It's just my only obsession, like my mother. Those ancient times, my mother loved pearls. Look at it. You see? She's not wearing pearls, but in the backveld of Ponderland, you see how she is dressed. I keep a photograph of hers next to my bed. I talk to her every morning, and I say good night to her. I always say, Mommy, I hope I'll have a good day today. For instance, yesterday was a bad day. I said, Mommy, I hope you know where you are. It's not such a good day for us today. Sometimes how I wish she was there. You know, and wondered what she would have thought. I think it is natural for any two parents, no matter what circumstances exist, to be deeply attached to each other. There was a bond nothing would break between us. We didn't necessarily have to be together or to live together. I'd never lived with him in the first place. There never was any normality in our families, so it was, on hindsight, very painful. I was the most unmarried married woman.